A drop of blood for every mile I'm on. I took all that they gave and lived to fight another day. But if today is all I get, I'll make my mark and you can bet that I'll never surrender. On this life, and I'll never surrender. On this life, I can't change the past, but I can change how the story turns. 'Cause it's not mistakes that make us, but the
oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome to Homeland Heroes Salute Podcast with your hosts, Doug Macedo and Jim Roberg.
Welcome everybody. Welcome to another episode. I'm your host, Doug, and today we've got a special guest with us. We have two charms with us. He is a actor. He does music. He does stand-up comedian stuff. But before we get into it and get him going, I want to give a big shout out to all of our sponsors out there. We have Cornerstone Bank. We have the Veteran Development Corporation. We have Webster 5. We have Larry's Landscape Supply. We also have Big Belly Cafe in Webster, Massachusetts. We have Reed's Archery down in Middleborough. We also have LVJ Trailers and New England Blue Collar Printing as well. Big shout out to them. I appreciate it. Without their support and donations and sponsorships, we wouldn't be able to do what we do and take care of our veterans as much as we do. And so, on to the introducing two charms. I'm gonna have Two Charms take it away, and you just break it down for us. Tell us about yourself.
Oh man, thanks for having me, man. It's an honor and pleasure to be here. I'm part of the show and all the amazing stuff you did and all the amazing sponsors. Yeah, man, I'm Two Charms, One Chain, comedian out of Houston, Texas. I was in the military Air Force for 8 years, from I think like 2001 to 2009. I've been out here, been doing comedy for 10 plus years, and music for 10 plus years. And yeah, I'm just out here just chasing the dream. I'm just glad to be on the show and just going, just living life.
Absolutely, absolutely. We gotta just live life, and just hustle as much as we can to get where we want to get and get going. I want to dive into some of the questions, and the first question is, how did you start doing being like a comedian, and getting into acting as well as the music.
Mm-hmm. All right. So the music, since I was a kid, my brother was in the Air Force as well. And he's the one that bought me like my first karaoke machine, age 14, 15, and freestyling and all that stuff in the car. So then it propelled to like a little home studio, making music, mixtapes. Nothing really went out of it. It was just more of like a hobby. So that's how the music got started. And then with stand-up comedy, ever since I was little, I've always been watching stand-up comedy. We used to watch all the comic views from the Def Comedy Jams to the Night at the Improv. So always been fascinated watching. Never thought I would be doing that because I was like a rapper. I always wanted to be like a rapper. So be such a fan of comedy, I never said I want to be that one day. But how I fell into the comedy was I used to go like my wife go on date nights to the Improv, and they used to give like little promo tickets like weekdays that didn't sell so much to give you like free tickets and stuff. So we used to go and I used to like it and love it. And then my cousin, he noticed how much we liked it, so he invited me to a local bar here in Houston, outside of Houston, and they had like a comedy Wednesday night comedy. So I went there just to be an audience and liked it, and then I became friends with the host. The host was a guy from LA, from Houston, was working in LA, and he came over the house. We were just drinking beer, barbecuing, and he talked me into. He goes, "Why don't you try it one day?" So I went back to the same place that I saw him in that little outside Houston, and started doing it. Nervous the first time. I had all my friends and family come over. And I did it on stage for the first time and went well. And then I just kept going back. And then that's how I got to the comedy. And then he went back to LA. So then I had nowhere to go to the comedy. So one day on Facebook, I saw this a tag on Facebook saying comedy contest, Houston's funniest comedy contest. And I wasn't in Houston. I wasn't with the regular open micers comedians in Houston because I was on the outskirts doing this one little bar. So me practicing there, I kind of built up a little bit more material because I had like the same family and friends seeing me. So I went to this contest. I was like a fresh face with a little bit of experience with the tutelage from that comic and me writing material. So I did really well in the contest. I think I placed like top 5, and I was only like a few months into it. And so that's how I got into the comedy. And then that led to a lot more opportunities and other promoters from that contest. And then acting, I always wanted to be an actor, always in drama. But when I was doing comedy and I was getting full traction and getting some of this comedy, me and my wife moved to Los Angeles to do acting, but then a lot of extra stuff for skits and music videos, playing this character propelled me to do the acting stuff as well. So that's how all three kind of fell in line.
I mean, that's amazing. I mean, to be able to be that, to be talented to do that. As I was watching some of your videos, and I even saw you dropping the beat on what was that? I can't remember the song that your buddy. I guess your buddy was you were knocking on the door, and your buddy was calling you in.
Hot Boys.
Yes, that's what it was. That's what it was. And I heard that. I'm like, dude, that's pretty fucking sick. I actually like that. That's dope. I mean, right off the tip of your tongue, you were just going with it.
Yes, and speaking of that video, I was kind of like beating myself up because I was freestyling and I was talking about everybody in the room.
Yeah.
So I realized it didn't translate to the YouTube. So I was making everybody pop by talking about them in the room. But I kind of beat myself after watching. I was like, man, the people on YouTube are not in the room to see who I was talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, I appreciate that compliment. Yeah, that was one of the skits, and that's what kind of led me into the music. So to go back to the music, what I was saying about the mixtapes, and So now me being a comedian, I got traction. So a lot of these hip hop artists started coming to my shows, and I was surrounded by all these artists I grew up listening to. And I always wanted to be the rapper. So now I was able to, since I was in their video, they did me a favor back by being a feature on my song. And so I was able to put this project together after being a comedian to have my first solo rap album, which is on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube, called Two Charms Twice As Fun. So it's like my first love with the comedy. I was able to actually have something real instead of just mixtapes, karaoke machine and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's part of one of the skits of that character of doing stuff like that.
Yeah, I was like, that's pretty dope. I mean, I actually enjoyed that. I was like, damn, I wonder if he can just keep going. Then I see your buddy's like, get out of here and don't come back until I tell you to come back. And I'm like, Jesus, man, that was great. I mean, come on, bring him back right now. Yeah, I mean, that's again, it's one of those things. And then I was going through the more of the videos, and I think I found it on I believe it was Instagram. I found another. It might have been Instagram. I think I found another video, and it was the back in the day, because I'm an '80s baby. I started to see the video MTV Cribs, and I'm like, I remember that. I remember that show. That stuff was dope. And then I see yours. You're like, let's go to the back door, and it's like the back window. And I'm like, man, that just, again, that tied right back into the whole comedian stuff. And it was like, going into my guest room, I think my guest room, and then it's like, nah, this is my theater room.
Yeah, man, I'm glad you like it. Yeah, it was a while ago, and that big best memories, man. I'm glad you enjoyed it. But yeah, that's like me intertwining the hip hop with the comedy world and kind of meshing it all together. And I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Oh, it's like you're just meshing it all together, and it was like pretty dope. I was like, I like this. But I know there was newer stuff. I even saw that you were on stage with Pauly Shore.
Yes. Yes.
How did that happen? How did that go? I just saw
how did it happen? Go ahead.
I just saw the brief of it. Sorry, I just saw the brief clip of it. But yeah. Yeah,
I worked with a lot of, unfortunately, a lot of celebrities in that. So he's one of them. How that happened, it was a little town here in Texas, Corpus Christi. And I built a relationship with that comedy club by going up, working my way up from being an opener to the host, all the way to the headliner to the feature. So now that Pauly Shore, he needed a feature, somebody to do 20 minutes before him. So I grew up watching Pauly Shore. Like I remember being in the movie theaters watching Son-in-Law. And I wasn't like his biggest fan currently of his stand-up, but as a kid, I remember watching Encino Man. So it was pretty cool. And then I got to open up for him, and it was massive. Like I think the one video you saw about the NASCAR, that was at that same show with the Pauly Shore, that big stadium complex. And Pauly Shore was cool, man. He was pretty much like how you think he would be. He's like not playing the part. He was very nice. He met my wife. He was very nice to my wife. We went out to like a sushi bar dancing, and he was very sociable. And he's a character. He's a cool guy.
Yeah, he doesn't seem, and like again, even that back in the day, seeing the Encino Man and stuff like that. Yeah, that was like I loved it as a kid, seeing that, and that was so many good movies back in the day. We used to rent from Blockbuster, and it always say "Please be kind, rewind." It was those movies. He definitely was a character, but I can only picture him being a calm, collective individual, being kind of just a calm person.
Reserved.
Yeah, reserved.
Yeah.
Not
He was a little bit of both. He was actually like being the way the weasel and being reserved. So he's a good guy.
That's pretty cool. I mean, what other other big name people have you done any
Well, I did a lot of Texas comedians that's probably that mainstream that everyone know. But one that also I worked with is Harlan Williams. The
Okay.
one from Half Baked, the
Yep.
peanut butter cup. Yeah, I worked with him, and he was a super cool guy.
No, that's
And yeah, he was a super cool guy, and I worked with him. That was in that same venue as well. And no, actually, it was the same place but a bigger venue. And
Yep.
yeah, that was really fun. And I got to go up there and talk to him for like 30 minutes, and he was telling me how the Half Baked script got together, and he was telling me about his thing, interaction with the Dumb and Dumber, him being the. So it was really cool, and just like just be in the same room and just learn off him. And other big names too, like the Nick Cannon show, Wild 'N Out.
Yep.
I worked with a lot of their cast members, like maybe 5 or 6 of the cast members, and one that's really popular is Matt Rife. He
Yep.
blew up just recently with the TikTok and that. So I worked with him, and he's a super cool guy, and he was really complimenting of me, and he was we're just chopping up and sharing each other game. He was giving me compliments, and that's right when I worked with him. Maybe 1 month later is when he propelled to that next level.
Yeah.
So I worked with him right before he blew off to the next level. So yeah, those are just a few names I worked with in the comedy world.
That's cool. It's amazing that you get that chance to do that. You know, it's not like an everyday thing of like everybody gets to,
Yes.
get to do that, and not everybody gets to do what they really want to do in life to make them happy. And you get to do it. So if you have any, what would you be able to say to someone that is getting into like doing any of those 3 things that you're doing? What would be some words of wisdom would you give them?
For stand up, I just say if you really love it, put in the work in. Make sure you put the writing in, and also the biggest advice for especially stand up is what I do is get up as much as you can and record yourself.
Yeah.
If you have somebody record you, or even record your audio, so you can listen to the playback in your car or your headphones, so know what joke words or what had too many words or what you can pull out. So that's my biggest advice: is get up as much as you can, write as much as you can, and record yourself, so you can do like armchair quarterback, and maybe show with some friends and like what would they do, and dissect it, because that's how I got better. That's how I cut out some meat of my jokes when I had too much words, or when I said something just by accident, freestyle in the moment, and it worked. So now be watching it, so I'm gonna use that every single time. So that's one of my biggest advice of that is go as much as you can and record yourself.
And if someone's getting into like even music and whatnot, what kind of advice would you give them on that?
Yeah, music is a different, whole different bag, and I mean, I'm not the one to give like the best advice. Music is just surround yourself by the best people, the best opportunity. You gotta know, you don't want to put too much money invest. It's more business. It's a different aspect, but just to go back, if you really want to do it, just try your best and give it all. But with music, it's a whole different ball of wax.
Yeah, no, it is what I talk to when I talk to music artists. It's like it's not like unless you have a major investor.
Yes.
It's not gonna. It's very hard. Even when you get it, with a record label, if they don't have those major investors or whatnot that have money to throw at it,
Yes.
it's very hard. And I get it. I totally get it. It's to make money, you've got to spend money.
Yes.
And the only way you're going to be able to spend money is if you have the money. And if you don't have the money, which that's where the investors and all that capital companies that want to spend the money, it's not it's not there. I know. I've always been told when I was going through stuff, I was always told to stay humble at what I'm doing. Don't think you're going to be all that, and as they would say, all that in a bag of potato chips back in the day. But because I grew up in Daytona Beach, Florida. I mean, that's just where I was at. I went to Mainland High School, right there in Daytona, right next to the racetrack. So again, I knew when you said the racing, I'm like, I'm right there. I grew up next to the racetrack. But it was always stay humble, and then hustle and grind, because it's the only way you're gonna get anywhere in life. Because if you don't hustle and grind, you're not gonna be able to make it in the world altogether. So that's where I've always been. And then, my buddies now, he's always tells me, says, secure the bag. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. And he's my buddy, he's from Trinidad. So he's always telling me that, and he's like, keep it real, keep it 1,000. So no, I know on one of your videos I want to talk to you. Is you're and then, as you mentioned, you have a wife. How long have you been married now?
We just celebrated our 22nd wedding anniversary.
You celebrated your 22nd.
Yeah, we just got back from Vegas. Yeah, we went to Las Vegas for being married for 22 years.
Nice. That's amazing, and again, even like when I saw the video, it's that's a big thing nowadays, because again, a lot of people, even myself included, it's always you've gone through one divorce or two divorces or whatnot, but congratulations on that. And
thank you. Yeah,
you're welcome. And I've got 5 kids myself. Do you have any kids?
No kids.
No kids? Oh, keep it that way. No. Keep it that way. I'll tell you. If you want kids, just we'll talk later, and I'll send you my kids. No. Kids are a handful, but you can't really do much without if you have kids. It's like harder, but later in life it will hopefully pay off.
You're so blessed to have 5 kids.
Oh.
Yeah, you're blessed to have 5 kids, and I don't have a kid. I have a little dog, but he's called Junior because his name is Charms, Puppy Charms.
Yeah.
So I call him Junior.
I got a dog too. We call him Max, but he's a hound dog / beagle. So he's a handful. He's not even a year old, and he's already friggin' up to my knees, or even past my knees. So it's crazy. So I mean, if the viewers are watching this today, as they're watching this, where can they locate you? Because I know you're on a bunch of different social medias.
Yes.
Where would they be able to find you, and what social medias and major platforms?
Yes, on Instagram, I'm 2 Charms 1 Chain on Instagram.
Okay.
And on Facebook, I have my Facebook page is 2 Charms, just number 2 Charms on Facebook.
Yep.
And on YouTube is 2 Charms, and that's pretty much it. It's pretty much all the 3 platforms there.
And they can find out where on those.
Yeah, all my upcoming shows. That's where I put my upcoming schedule right now. This is going to be broadcasted a little later, so I have some upcoming shows, but there's no point of plugging them since it's going to be aired in September. But yeah, I actually have a hip hop show coming up in a couple weeks. I'm going to be hosting a big show for the Latin rap music scene here.
Okay.
So yeah, and then I've been performing really busy. I just took a little break for the vacation and that, but I've been also doing it every weekend, every Friday, Saturday, for the last couple of months. But now I'm gonna have some more shows coming up. So all that booking and stuff is gonna be on my 2 Charms page, Instagram page, and I have my 2 Charms merchandise. I have the 2 Charms hats, shirts. I have pop figure, 2 Charms pop figure.
Nice.
2 Charms baseball cards.
Nice.
2 Charms car freshener. So that's been helping me too, man. I go back to my wife. She's been there for me since day one. She's been supporting me. She even helped me get this Zoom going, and she drives my show. She helps us sell merchandise. She gets a tripod, takes a video, photos of me, takes photos of the fans. So yeah, I've been really lucky to have her there by my side this whole way. And selling this merchandise, and that's just been helping me on the road, because being an up and comic, you don't get paid as much, but if you can get the crowd over, and that's even more difficult when the crowd is there to see a Pauly Shore or Harley Williams or a Matt Rife, and they don't even know who I am. But if I can get that little 10, 20 minutes and make them a fan, that means so much to me that I'm not as privileged to be as I seen in a movie or seen from MTV. And for them to that and willing to spend $5 on me or $10, that means the world, and let you know to support the dream,
No, absolutely, and as I want to let the viewers know is, as you're sitting here at the end of this, I want you to definitely, if you can, go and click on the links and try to get and purchase any merchandise, swag that he's got. I might have to take a look at that fungal pop. 'Cause I'll tell you, my kid, one of my kids, he loves fungal pops, and he has everything going back from the Ghostbusters, the original movie and stuff. He has that. He has what is it? Alien vs Predator. He has this big jumbo fungal pop that was like $90 or something.
Oh wow!
I'll tell you. So I may have to take a look at that and have to hit that up and get that. But I want all the viewers and the viewers and all that to definitely take a look at it. And as us as a veteran community as well, we should definitely be supporting one another. It doesn't matter what branch it is. We're all veterans and we all support each other. I'm gonna link all this stuff up into the bottom of the comments. I'm also gonna be posting that, stuff like that. I'll post that onto all of my social media pages.
Awesome.
And promote that for you as well. Because again, I do we do this for the veterans and take care of one another. And so I want to definitely put that out there for the veterans. And then I'll throw your shows up on the thing, so it's filtering through. To help you out as well. And it's gonna be aired on the 18th, but you know what? We'll put everything out there that's going on, and definitely help and support you, because whatever, $5, $10, $20, whatever it is, we all take care of each other, and it just helps out. So again, I really appreciate you coming out here, coming out and being on this episode with me, and talking about yourself. I definitely want to keep up to date with you and be able to maybe one day you'll be out here in Boston playing at the, I think it's what is it, the Wilson or Williford or something like that thing out here. That's a lot of big comedians play out, do their comedian stuff there as well, and I think the seats like 1,000 or 2,000 or something like that.
Oh wow! Yeah, maybe one day.
Maybe. Hey, you never know. Or even at the Mohegan Suns or Foxwoods. Shit, I don't even know. That'd be pretty sick. So again, I really appreciate you coming out here and getting on here and talking to us and stuff. So we will have Beavis and Butthead. I'll have them take it over from here and tell them. They can tell me what they think about how I acted this evening. So, all right, man. I appreciate it. Have a good one, everybody.
Well, thanks for having me. Thanks again.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thanks for everything. Thanks for this platform.
Thank you.
And